idea was, what if we created a system where companies pay us to advertise to our members, but we then share a percentage of the ad revenue with our members? So,
okay. So Cameron, what do you think makes a good entrepreneur?
So what do I think makes a good entrepreneur? Well, it's a good question, but I think, entrepreneurship, they say, are you entrepreneurs born or are they made? I think it's really important just to sort of learn by doing. We can read about it all day in a textbook and maybe all of us have ideas, but the difference between a real entrepreneur and someone that just has ideas is they actually take that idea and they go and do something with it. So the first chapter in my book is called Put Yourself Out There. And the reason why I gave it that title is because I think that's the most important key, is to actually take your idea, take whatever it is you're thinking, whether it's an idea, whether it's you just want to start a business, but actually go and do it. And that's what I think it really takes.
Do you think that to make a good entrepreneur, you need to be able to think outside the box?
I think one of the most important things about being an entrepreneur is thinking outside of the box. If you just look at the average student who goes through, middle school and junior high and college or university, they're taught to think a certain way. They're taught to think whatever it was that was in their textbook. And I think that you have to think outside of the box because you've got to think differently than your competitors, people that are your age, businesses that compete with you. You've got to think outside of the box.
How do you balance your work life and your private life?
This is one of the most important things I think any entrepreneur can do, is balancing work with life. For me, I grew up, going to school in the day, playing sports in the afternoon. I lived a pretty normal high school life. I had a girlfriend, played varsity soccer, all these different things. So I had to learn how to manage my time. And I think that's what, being an entrepreneur is all about, creating freedom and sort of being able to live whatever life you want. And I think that's why you've got to learn how, to have your business, but then also to have, your fun time and your free time too.
Okay. How many hours do you sleep per day?
Sleep per day? Yeah. The one thing I missed out on in my childhood was sleep. I would work really late, really weird hours, and then I would have to get up and go to school. So I didn't work traditionally, 9 to 5 during the day. So if anything, I lost sleep when I was a kid.
What about playing as well? Sleep and play. Did you play? Did you feel that you were a child?
Sorry, for me, I lived a really normal life. So I went to school in the day, I had free time for my sports and my different businesses that I would do late at night. But it was really normal. I mean, I always thought of myself as a kid because I never told any of my friends about my businesses. So they never knew, it wasn't like, I drove a fancy car to school or anything else. I never talked about my businesses. So that helped me, be treated normal, but also I was normal. I've got my, real friends and I've got my business friends, and then, it's important to keep them separate.
So approximately, how many hours do you work per week now?
Well, being that I run internet companies and I travel and sometimes I'm speaking or consulting, I don't really have a set schedule, but I try and take 5 months vacation a year. I like to travel, hang out, but I don't have sort of a set schedule. It might be if I'm working on a certain project, I might work 60, 70 hours a week, and then I might be on vacation for a month. So I work a really weird schedule.
So would it be possible for women to do the same as you do?
Of course, I think it's really important for women to do just the same, because what the internet does is it levels the playing field. It doesn't matter if you're male, female, any age, nothing matters on the internet because they don't necessarily know who they're dealing with. And I think that's what enables women to compete on the exact same playing field as anyone else. Doesn't matter your education, your location, it's all fair.
How do you combine it with a family life?
The question is, can you be a working mother? Can you start a business while also trying to raise a family and be the best mother you can be? I think that is possible because the internet sort of lets you have a business that works around your schedule. So if the kids are in school or in daycare, that's when you work in the business. When they're home, that's when you're a mother. And I think the internet makes it great, but I think just the way that businesses are run today and the way they operate, I think it's perfect for a mother.
Can you give a recipe for the perfect entrepreneur?
The question is there a recipe to success for the perfect entrepreneur? And I don't think so at all. I think everyone who is an entrepreneur has a way of finding success their own way. So you might be a young kid and you might only be able to run your businesses late at night, or maybe you work all day during the day on your businesses. There's no perfect way of getting there. You can accomplish it however you wish. You just have to be, one, passionate about it, and two, you have to put yourself out there and actually go for it. We could talk about it all day, but what makes the difference is the real entrepreneurs actually go and do it.
The last question, what's your best advice for a young entrepreneur?
Okay. The best piece of advice I can give anyone is to just get started. Start small, start now. There's never going to be the perfect time. You know, we can say you need a lot of education, a lot of money, a lot of connections. You're never going to have all those things. You have to just get started, so put yourself out there and just get going.